go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Masters Fantasy Show, brought to you by mastersfantasyfootballleagues.com. My name's Jonathan. I'm going to be the host. I'm a commish here at Masters Fantasy Leagues, joined today by the Doc, our senior draft coordinator this summer.
Yeah.
How you doing today, my man?
I'm good, Commish. Always good when we're talking football, you know.
Good to hear. It's about that time, man. Pretty soon we'll be spending our weekends together.
Yeah.
You know, running drafts basically from morning to night. Are you excited?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, me
Nothing
too,
like
man.
draft season.
Always an exciting time of the year. Love to come into work and get yelled at by you guys because your computer, shit it out on you. But all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, man, got a good show for you guys today. You guys know we've been doing the player spotlight on trades. Today, I got some Blockbuster trades. Was able to save up some pretty good trades. We're going to take a look at them. Another good thing, stick around to the end of the show. We're going to take a look at like 3 of them. I'll throw up another 6 or 7 Blockbuster trades for you guys to take a look at, decide which side you like or whatever. With that said, let's jump into this, man. First trade popping up on your screen. We got Phillip Rivers, Dalvin Cook, George Kittle for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Austin Eckler, Mark Andrews, a 1, 2, and a 3. What side you like, Doc?
I tell you what, this is actually pretty even because, to me, Dalvin Cook is that elite guy. George Kittle is that elite guy. Both of these guys, though, have a little bit of an injury history. So I can understand why they're on the move, but I can also understand why they're bringing so much back. It's nice to have that full draft. And then, with injuries involved, Andrews probably a little more durable than Kittle. Obviously won't see the numbers that Kittle will. But, also to get Clyde, who's a guy that's a young up-and-comer, and even though he didn't do what we thought he would last year, he still has a ton of promise and a lot of value in Dynasty. And honestly, Eckler's a guy I'm big on, and a lot of people, they see him bouncing back big time this year after injury kind of derailed his season a year ago. So, it's tough for me to pick a side. I feel like I understand where both are coming from. It's hard to go against 2 elite guys in Cook and Kittle, but I don't hate the other side.
Yeah, I think they're pretty even. I think I'd go with the picks and the more pieces there, even though I'm not a big Eckler guy, but you're spot on with that. Like, even some of the drafts I'm running every night, like, man, sometimes I see Eckler go at like 1.8, 1.9. It kind of shocks me personally.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too because I feel like he was way further back just not that long ago. And even though I think he has the ability to finish as like a top 10 running back, just with the PPR upside, I don't know. I don't know that you take him over some of those guys at 1.8, 1.9.
Yeah, I don't know either. I was talking to a guy on the phone the other day, too. I was helping him get logged in, and we got into a little conversation. And he's like, man, I like Eckler better than Kamara. I was a little shocked, but, he sounded like he meant it. And he's like, honestly, I just can't see it with that offense, personally.
Yeah, I can't either, but I don't know. Maybe things will be different.
It's possible, man.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, next trade popping up here. Got another Blockbuster trade. We got Lamar Jackson for Nick Chubb, Myles Gaskins, the 2 and a 3 for Melvin Gordon, Claypool, Justin Jefferson, and a 1. Your thoughts?
Wow. Okay. I've been probably a little low on Lamar, even though I'm willing to admit that he's better than I give him credit for, especially in fantasy. Nick Chubb, amazing. Don't really need to add much about that. Gaskins, where I think I'm a little unsure on the trade, just because, even though he did really well in his role last year, and it seems like, Miami didn't really do a whole lot to add competition to the backfield. It seems like he'll still have a pretty big role in the offense. Despite that, going forward, I don't know how much they go with him. He is kind of undersized, even though he's tough as nails. So for me personally, I'm going to go with Claypool, Jefferson, and a first-round pick. Melvin Gordon, maybe he catches on and gives you a little something, but I don't really expect much out of him.
Yeah,
but,
me neither.
Yeah, Jefferson clearly the most valuable in the trade. Claypool's value can only really go up, especially with Juju maybe out the door in a year or two. So I like that side.
Yeah, I'd got an offer in a Dynasty League for Gaskins the other day. The guy was offering me the 1.11 pick for Gaskin, which I wanted to jump on it immediately because I'm thinking, get some first-round pedigree over Gaskin. But then when I looked at it, I was having a hard time pulling the trigger, and I never ended up accepting the trade. Would you have took it or?
It's tough for me to say.
And I'll be honest, I went in there to accept it, and I started looking at my roster, and then you guys know how it is when you're looking at your own roster. All of a sudden, Gaskins, I mean, looks like a guy that could be a lead back for you.
Yeah.
And who knows if he comes out and does really well. I mean, could cement that job. All kind of like even like James Robinson last year. And I know Gaskin, a little more history. Robinson was out of nowhere, but he came out, started looking good, started looking like it was his job.
Right.
And I know that didn't quite work out this year, but plenty of times in years past, a guy, comes out, puts his name on the job, and all of a sudden, I don't know, man.
Honestly, I think it's very similar to a guy like Austin Eckler. Very similar skill set, kind of builds very similar too. And I mean, yeah, a lot of people thought, well, Austin Eckler is never going to beat out Melvin Gordon. He's always going to be a third down back. And I mean, that took maybe another year for that to be the case, and he kind of forced Gordon out of town. So maybe Gaskin's value going forward is actually better than we're assuming, just because it's not super exciting and we assume they upgrade the position. But I mean, if he's producing like he did last year, maybe they just stick with him.
Because I'm thinking, like, had you done that with Eckler and took a late first, I mean, you probably regretted it pretty quick into that 2 seasons ago. And then on Lamar, real quick, I saw you tweeted the other day. And real quick, if you could follow us on Twitter, I'm going to pop up the links. Come talk some Dynasty and fantasy football with us. One of the things you tweeted the other day, we were talking about Jalen Hurts. And I thought you made a really good point that, Jalen Hurts is going so high in some of these drafts. And it's a little bit head-scratching. You brought up Lamar Jackson, from I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, early in the season, guys taking him, like, in the 13th round. And, as the season got closer, he climbed, went on to have an MVP-type season that year. And, you just pointed out the similarities, with Jalen Hurts. And maybe people are trying to get ahead of that, now. But the one thing I was as I was reading that, the one thing I was thinking, which I do agree with you, but one of the things I was thinking was, is it possible that, because everybody was paying a premium for Lamar last year, now that he's kind of slipping down to the 4th, 5th round, I was like, you know what, maybe Lamar is the guy I want to go after, because what if he does have another MVP season?
Yeah, I mean, if it's Lamar in the 4th or Jalen Hurts in the 6th, that seems like a very easy decision for me, yeah.
Right, I'm with you. All right, next trade and the final trade popping up. This is probably one of the bigger trades I'd seen all week. Like I said, stick around for the end of the show. I'll pop up a bunch of other ones for you guys. We got CeeDee Lamb, DK Metcalf, and Mark Andrews, and a second-round pick for Pittman, Rager, Ruggs, the 1.5, 8, 10, 12, and a future 1 and 2. Your thoughts, Doc?
I mean, that's a ton of picks. I mean, I guess if you're super high on this draft class, I mean, I can't fault you, because that's a lot of draft capital. You can do a lot with those picks. You don't even have to use all those picks. You can use those to fill your roster in a variety of different ways. But, I mean, to give away CeeDee Lamb and DK Metcalf and Mark Andrews, I mean, there's got to be, for me, a lot more on the other side than some mid-first-round picks and some late first-round picks. Obviously, I like Pittman and Ruggs and Rager. We've talked about. Me and Dynasty Owl did a show on both of those guys, I believe. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't seen it already, go find it, watch it, all that good stuff. But yeah, to me, as much as I like those guys and their potential and the potential of all those picks, I mean, there's too much star power on the other side.
Yeah, we've spoke about the cutoff at 4 or 5 in this year's draft. I do like all the capital there, though. But I mean, CD and DK. I mean, so young, so much potential. I honestly, I don't know what side to pick. I just think it's a wow type of trade.
It's a very interesting trade, because you can pick it apart a lot of different ways. Because like I said, I mean, he doesn't even have to make those picks at 1.5, 1.8. You can flip those around for other people, but at the end of the day, I mean, you had CeeDee Lamb and DK Metcalf. You didn't really have to do a whole lot.
Yeah, because I can see that too. Because I'm thinking, I mean, if that's all you have on your roster, like that's it, Lamb, Metcalf, Andrews.
If they're like barren at running back and quarterback.
But at the same time, that's not a bad start to a dynasty team either.
Yeah, you're probably better off just loading up one by one, year by year,
I mean, add another running back next year. Yeah, interesting. Good trade, though, guys. Love to see these blockbuster trades come across the desk here at Masters. As always, if you could, hit the like and subscribe button. Look for a place to play fantasy football, dynasty football, redraft. We got best ball, super flex leagues, mastersfantasyfootballleagues.com, your premier destination for all the stuff above. Any last words, Doc?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bang.